everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I wanted to show you guys the sad state of my greenhouse. I haven't done a greenhouse update in a really long time, and that is because I actually took a break from growing plants mostly, and I actually neglected all of my plants, which is why the greenhouse is in a very, very sad state. Now, I actually cleaned up in here, so I am just kind of showing you just like how's empty, not like completely empty, but it looks so different right now. There's not as many plants. I think half of my plants died, and it was just something that was out of my control. I really couldn't do anything about it, and I want to get back into growing plants and growing orchids. So unfortunately, because of COVID, there's not a lot of plant shows, and so I'm having to go to like local nurseries that don't have a lot of, you know, like special plants or unique plants that I want. So I'm just going to show you guys a little bit of what's going on. Actually, probably a lot of what's going on. So I added this evaporative cooler in here, and actually I started adding it last year. I do have I got a new fan actually because my other fan kind of broke down, and this one is actually really powerful. It's a little bit too powerful. Even on like the lowest setting, it's very, very powerful. And I actually have it hooked up to my Alexa, so an Alexa plug, so then that way I can set when it turns on and off, and then I can also control it when I'm away from home, which is a lot better than like always having to have my dad come over and open the door and turn on the fan for me. So he still has to open the door, but it's just another automated thing I'm doing. So my catasetums are not doing so great, and I'm gonna show you guys a lot of my dead plants. And seriously, I stopped taking care of them for about 2 years. I mean, sometimes my dad would like come in and water them, but it was a really hard time for me. I just had really like bad like personal stuff that were going on, so the plants were just not a priority at that point. But this shelf actually fell down because I just had so many plants on it. My dad put it together again for me. He's so great, and he pretty much like does like 50% of the work in here. I actually got rid of a whole bunch of plants because they were all dead. I mean, they got rid of themselves basically. And so this shelf, I kind of created an area where sort of new plants would come in. So what I do is whenever I purchase new plants, I would leave it inside my house sort of for quarantine, you know, like a specific amount of time. And then once they're out of quarantine, I would either repot them or just put them here in this area. And so this is like the second quarantine stage, but not really quarantine. I mean, just a place where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna put them here, they can acclimate, and then I would move them to a spot that they like a spot that I would want them to permanently be in. So I have some Hoyas that I acquired here, and that is a new growth right there. That's so awesome. And then I actually acquired some replacement plants because killed them. So this Hoya is actually really rare, and I actually have tags that I created for some of my newer plants, and of course, I can't even remember the name of all these plants because I created the labels like a lot later after I got the plant. So I'm just like a really, really, really bad grower at this point. I'm just like throwing stuff in. I don't even care anymore. This is from my sister, and it's just the spider plants that she grew from a little baby. And then I actually got her this one. This is the Crassula Buddha's temple, and it's huge now. I actually got it for her when it was like tiny, and it's looking like amazing. So what I did was, so this is actually from this pot, but what happened was I just put in an empty pot, not an empty pot, a pot with like no plant in it with some soil, and I'm hoping that it will crawl over here and it will attach itself into this pot, so then I'll have 2 plants. But you can see that I could probably put another pot on this area and have 3 plants. I'm not sure whether I want to put it into a huge pot because I like the way that my pots are smaller, so they fit into these trays. And I actually got like a whole bunch of these, and then I killed them because I neglected them. So a lot of my plants died from basically neglect. That one is from my sister, and then I got these variegated Christmas cactus, which this one is like, I don't know if it's going to bloom. I mean, it has some buds, but they're so small. And I scored it because it was so cheap in stores. So then some of these are also replacement plants as well. I got this one, but I'm not really sure if it's gonna, to be honest with you, I'm really bad at growing these, and I scored them. They're kind of rare, and I killed one of them already. So yeah, I'm just not really good. I'm just not a good plant mom anymore. And this is actually an herb, sort of. I believe it's Peruvian oregano. And then I got this one as also a replacement. This is a type of succulent, so you can actually grow them from cuttings, and it's super soft. It's kind of like the lamb's ear. It's soft like that. It's very neat. And I actually got one, and then no, I didn't. Well, okay, so like I didn't really kill it, but it got infested with spider mites. No, sorry, aphids. My brain, not good. So let's see, over here I have some orchids, and you know what? I'm just not particularly fond of these orchids anymore. I mean, I just kind of got over them. And at this point, I mean, they're still alive, but I'm just not sure whether I would keep them or not. I might not like shedding tears when they're gone. Let's just say that, I guess. And my dendrobiums up here are not doing particularly well. Of course, I mean, this is all due to neglect. I have some that are blooming, but they're not as good as I would have liked. And the dendrobiums are easier to grow, so I might go back and save some of these, but you can see that they're just really sad looking, and I mean, it is seriously like partly my fault. And then I have some plants here. So these are the true Christmas cactus that I you know what, this year they're not doing that well, and of course that's partly due to neglect as well, but I'm thinking that I might repot them, or I might just restart over with some cuttings. And this is the Epiphyllum German Empress, which I killed once already, and this is a replacement plant as well. So hopefully I won't kill that one. I have some plants up here that have really, like, seriously, like half of my hanging plants died off. And so I have, these are repots, and it's actually doing really great. I think it looks pretty fantastic. That one is dead. I don't know what else to say about it. It's just struggling. And these guys, the only reason why I got this is a, gosh, I can read the only reason why I got this plant was because it was just so neat the way that the leaves are silvery and it's kind of soft-ish. Like, it's very soft, fuzzy, and it's silvery blue, green-ish, and it's so gorgeous. But I'm still learning how to grow this plant. And what I did is I cut off all the dead leaves, and then I draped the plant over another pot and then kind of pinned it down because it can actually grow from cuttings. So I'm thinking if I pin it down next to a bit of soil that it can sort of root in the new pot. Now over here I have all my Hoyas. I believe only 1 or 2 died. And my Hindu rope is doing extremely well. I got that one from Home Depot. No, wait, it was Walmart. I killed half of it, and then I was like, oh snap, I need to save this because it's kind of hard to find in stores. So I did a cutting, and now it's only growing on one side. But at least it's still alive and it's doing very well. I have my shooting star Hoya up here, which I killed 3 of them already, and that's from lack of watering. You should really water your Hoyas, and because they're hanging kind of high up, it is easier to kill them. So you can see that this one is just dead. That one's just, yeah, it has 1 leaf. It's been having 1 leaf for like a really long time. Okay, so let's see if I can grab some of the plants. Oh god. Ooh, so this is a variegated Hindu rope, and I can't tell if it's grown. I've had it for, god, a really long time. I don't think it's grown. These things are really rare, by the way. Like, they're expensive. I think I spent like $50 on it, which is pretty crazy, but I don't know if it's grown at all. And this is the variegated Kerrii, the Hoya Kerrii, and I got this one online, which is, I actually did a video on this one when I opened it up, and then I never posted it. This is the variegated version, and I actually have the Kerrii with the reverse variation, and I think I actually didn't even talk about it, but it was back in the sort of newer plants. Now this one I scored at a local store, and it was really expensive, by the way. It was like that much. It was like $47.50, and it was obscene, but it's actually growing. I used to have just the 1 leaf one, which is like a complete gimmick because they never grow. So I had to spend money on an actual plant with nodes in it, with active nodes, and it looks like it's putting out some new leaves, those tiny ones there. I actually clean up some of my other Hoyas over here. Some of them are doing awesome. So these I got when I was with my sister in LA, and they're doing really, really great, to the point where like I actually had to pull them off of each other because they were all over each other like crazy. They were bad plants, and I had to sort of pull them off of each other. This is the one where it just went nuts and it was all over all the other plants, and I was like, get off of them. And so I just kind of pinned it back. The reason why I did that was because I found out when I was cleaning up all my plants in here that having a jungle was actually where all the plants were like together and attached to each other was probably not a good idea, especially if you want to like take care of the plants later on, or if one dies and you want to get rid of it. It just didn't work out as well as I thought, and I'm gonna show you why in a little bit. So my dragon fruit, which I've been neglecting, that one has is not a dragon fruit, but this one so far, because I've been neglecting it, is not doing, or is not putting out any flowers. My mom's has flowers, but I finally repotted this and I kind of tied it up a little bit just to give it some love. So hopefully in the future it will, you know, give me fruit, although I don't really like their fruit so much, so I don't even know why I grow them. And then I just have some that are like, sadly, some epiphyllums that really need a repot. And then this is also another Christmas cactus that it's just so heavy. I really need to like think about how I can grow these so then they're not taking up like a ton of room, but they would look great as a hanging pot, but I just have like so many hanging plants right now. So some of my bromeliads, actually 2 of them, I had to pull them out and kind of like clean them up a little bit, and they're just so freaking huge. I'm not really sure what I want to do with it. I feel like at this point, like some of them I'm not really into anymore. But they're there, so I don't want to like just throw them away, especially if they're alive and doing okay. Now onto some of my cymbidiums, which are doing okay with the neglect. And this one is blooming. This one my friend's mom gave to me, and thankfully I didn't kill it, because I think that would be really bad to have to tell her. And then I have another one here, but this year I just not this one, sorry, that one in the back that she gave to me as well, and I don't think this one is blooming at all. I just don't have that many blooms this year because last year was just such a big mess. And I'm so sorry, I just don't have any good news really to show you guys, just because life was just so bad. And then here's another bromeliad that the reason why I put it over here was because like this area I was actually going to like either sell off or whatever, but now it's just too much work to do that, so I might just like rescue that one and put it back in with the other bromeliads. And these are just like temporary places, but you can see that I just have like way more empty space. It was really sad just kind of like going through my plants and seeing how they were doing, and all of my carnivorous plants died. There was like, it just went like months without water, and it just couldn't survive. And some of these, like, I haven't really cleaned out yet, so you can see this corner is kind of sad looking. Actually, it's really sad looking, but I lost a lot of expensive plants that I am still really sad about. But hopefully I can build my collection again. It's just been, like I said, a little bit harder because there aren't any shows and everything's like online, and don't like ordering online that much when it comes to plants. So I repotted some of these as well, and they're doing wonderful, and they do better when they're repotted. And actually, I find that a lot of plants that are grown from cuttings tend to do better if I sort of like restart it from scratch every year or every few years or so. Now I want to show you guys like a miracle, because I feel like it is, but this one is one of my first orchids, and I actually did a mounting video of it, and it's blooming. It's still alive after all these years. So I have some of these, like this one I got with my sister in Vegas, I believe, and it was a lot bigger. It's completely mounted on a stick, and it's extremely established. It doesn't have like amazing flowers or anything. I think I just like it because it was kind of bushy. And you can see that some, actually this plant was a gift. And it is doing awesome, which is surprising because it was mounted. And I had some plants that, you know, like they didn't survive because they were mounted and they weren't doing that great, but this, okay, so here's the thing about wanting sort of like a jungle, is now this is attached to all that, so I can't even pull it out. So I'm gonna have to apologize in advance because there's just so much background noise with the neighbor's dog barking and like airplanes flying by. I just live in a really busy neighborhood, but I wanted to show you like the sad state of plants that I have. Some of these are like really dead. The reason why I haven't gotten rid of them is because some of the live ones are like attached to them, and this is what I was talking about with plants that just seem to like they're all like all over each other, and they're just attached to each other. So this is it's just kind of bad because I'm torn between like just getting rid of the ugly dead ones, or like, but then like having to pull them out of the other ones with like good roots and stuff. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. My brain feels scrambled. Anyway, but next up, like I wanted to show you guys also like these. So these they were grown when they were really small, and you can see that this one like migrated over here, and then it got into this pot. And because my labels suck, I actually don't even know what this plant is. I think I can probably look it up, but yeah, I can probably look this one up. It was scented, and it looks really bad now because it's almost done blooming. But all of these, they were all attached to each other, and they were attached to this tray as well. So this is what happens when you just don't take care of your plants for a few years, and then they went on like they just kind of hung out with each other, and they hung out a little bit too long, and now they're like married. So they're just married to this tray as well, and they're just all stuck there for life, I think. And I am just like rewarded with some beautiful blooms, but overall, like, it's just, everything's just been really, really sad, honestly. But the good news is, like, I want to look at it also like on a positive note, is like I just have so much more space now, and the plants get a little bit more care and attention because I can actually see them, versus like when there was just so much, it was kind of hard to see. And unfortunately, I don't have any blooms on any of my coconut orchids this year. I think I have 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 of them, 5 of them maybe, and they used to do really well for me, but you know, if you don't take care of them. At some point, they just really can't take care of themselves. And then I actually reorganized some of these up here. They used to be all dendrobiums because they could deal with a lot more sunlight, but I mean, what happened was they died because I wasn't taking care of them. So I moved my Cattleyas and some dendrobiums up here. And then I think there was a Vanda up here too, or maybe not. I can't remember. There's some buds going on right there, which is cool. So another sad thing about neglecting them is what my labels that I didn't look at over the years, they just got washed out, and I just really could not figure out what any of my plants are, which is kind of sad. But you know what? Starting from scratch isn't such a bad idea. And technically I'm not really starting from scratch, but anyway, I wanted to show you guys the last one, which I mentioned was the Hoya Caryi, the reverse. So this is the reverse, and it came to me, I ordered it online, and it came kinda dehydrated, and this has been sitting inside of my house for about 2 weeks, and now it's been sitting out here for about 2 weeks. It looks like it's gonna come back, but we'll see. I'm still not sure about it yet. That's why it's still sort of like in this tray, in this like entry area. Anyway, what's great is that I finally cleared out a whole bunch of stuff. So you can see there's just so much more space. And I guess that means I can sort of restart my collection again. I don't have any carnivorous plants because I killed them all. But my boyfriend helped me clean up a whole bunch of stuff in here, and he even power washed my my floor for me, so it looks way better now. Honestly, I should have taken like a before video, but the floor just looks amazing. Like, well, I mean, it's not amazing, but it looks like 20 times better. And we swept a whole bunch of stuff out. These are like just new stuff that fell down, and I already started like repotting a whole bunch of my plants, and things are looking good. Like I'm happy about, you know, like how it's going. And so like I want to just kind of use this video as like the before video, you know, like at the end of the year I might like show like an end of the year video just to show like how far I've come. But it's just nice to like see it right now, and kind of empty, but I like having more space. So anyway, thanks for watching me and my video and how much I ramble and everything, and seeing the sad state of my plants. But hopefully things will get better. I'm not really sure, but we'll see how things are. I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye.